Ladies, young ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you from your respective locations, wherever you may be around the world. Things are very heated in France. France, which has publicly supported Israel. France, which has said that Israel has the right to defend itself by bombing Iran. And following that, we saw Iran make a public statement saying, okay, anyone who provides support to Israel or assists them in any way, we will consider them as targets and will take action against them accordingly. And since then, France is afraid, is trembling. A maximum alert has just been declared throughout France. Emmanuel Macron, who was speaking, a man who seemed reassured, in addition to having to initiate a plea to Iran to make Iran stop, Emmanuel Macron has just activated the Vigipirate plan. The Vigipirate plan has already been in effect in France for some time, but they have just reinforced it, moving to another stage, to a higher level. What is the Vigipirate plan? It is a plan that, when activated or reinforced in France, means that we are in a ruthless, intolerable, and unforgivable situation in terms of national security. We will come back to this. Ladies and gentlemen, the situation is serious. An urgent solution must be found. Iran must agree to lower its guard, and Israel must also understand that the decisions it has to make regarding Iran must be wise decisions. Otherwise, things will go badly. Yes, I'm telling you, power respects power. Let's go deeper, ladies and gentlemen. But before we continue, I ask you once again to share the video conference as much as possible. Give lots of likes. Yes, lots of likes. Let's go deeper. France is on alert due to the risk of an attack linked to the Iran-Israel conflict. France is afraid of seeing its territory bombed. France has raised 3 types of fears, which they have described as 3 types of threats. We will come back to this. France fears Islamist attacks following the Iran-Israel strikes, strengthening the Sentinel and Vigipirate security measures. When you hear about the Vigipirate plan in France, you need to understand that things are really bad. It's bad to the point of being disastrous. So this concern is fueled by Iranian threats against Israel's allies and internal community tensions. Macron advocates de-escalation while supporting Israel. Hey, let me laugh out loud. Macron, who calls for de-escalation, but on the other hand, he tells Israel, go ahead, you have the right to defend yourself. Go on, go for it, attack. Then he says, no, I want de-escalation. But who do these people take us for? If the other one shows up in the mix, I'm going to laugh out loud. I'm going to laugh in the wind. So it's really laughable. And at the same time, it's pitiful France. And so, ladies and gentlemen, France has detected 3 levels of threats. The first, according to France, is a resurgence of terror acts by homegrown Islamists. Here is what I believe the Minister of the Interior said. He specifically mentions young people who are radicalized on the internet, who are likely to take action in the heat of the moment. So France is afraid that young people who are radicalized on the internet, acting impulsively, might carry out an attack in France for some sudden reason. That's it. So that's the first threat. But this threat is individual and is well known to the intelligence services. It is considered particularly sensitive in the context of open war between Israel and Iran. That's what the minister says. They're still used to this kind of threat, which they know how to handle. But above all, it really becomes obvious, since we're in a context that really, how do you call it? That gives them this opportunity. The second threat that is pushing France to activate, to reinforce the Vigipirate plan. I'll talk to you about Vigipirate in a moment, if you don't mind. I'll talk to you about that. For those who don't know, what is the Vigipirate plan? Second threat. The second threat concerns possible Iranian actions on French soil, meaning Iran would take direct action. This is the most dangerous threat. And France knows that Iran is capable of doing it. France doesn't even want Iran to make the promise. Because if Iran makes a promise, it feels as if Iran has signed a pact with some extraordinary being. When Iran says, I will do this or that, Iran must keep his promise. If he doesn't keep his promise, he can't sleep. Even if there are people who will go to their eternal rest, let those people go to their eternal rest. But Iran cannot sleep if he doesn't keep his promise. So France doesn't even want Iran to make the promise. No. So the minister, Rat Retayu, according to him, he says some attacks could be carried out by groups linked to organized crime. This hypothesis fits with the explicit warning issued on Saturday by Tehran, which threatened to strike French, American, and British military and naval bases if they intervene to support Israel. Yes. So, that's the second one. Finally, Minister Retayu points to a third danger: public order disturbances in France, particularly during demonstrations that combine support for Palestine and hostility toward Israel. So gatherings are already taking place in several major cities, and the authorities fear things could get out of hand. So France is afraid. But the real truth is the Iranian threat. So what is the Vigipirate plan in France? The Vigipirate plan is a French government system for vigilance, prevention, and protection against the threat of terrorism. Its main objective is to ensure the safety of citizens and infrastructure. Right. There you go. Of infrastructure and the territory in the face of the risk of terrorist acts. It is activated according to the level of threat. There you go. It identifies and allows for the adjustment of security and surveillance measures in various areas, whether it's transportation, public places, schools, etc., etc. In short, France is getting ready. But with all their prayers, let's hope Iran doesn't make a promise, that Iran doesn't give its word. Because when you are a man, you have to know how to make a promise and keep it. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the news roundup. I'll be back with more updates shortly. This was the voice of your one and only Samurai.